Welcome to online classes DEO Nalgonda. Good morning to all children. Today for 10th class students biology topic is transportation circulatory system. Okay. Particularly for growth and maintenance of our body. Growth and maintenance of our body requires solids. These we can eat them. Then second one, liquids. We drink them. Okay, and also we require gases for breathe. For breathing purpose, gases are required. For drinking purpose, liquids are required. For eating purpose, solids are required. These all can be useful for our growth, and maintenance of our body. Okay. Then in the case of organisms, particularly animals, there are unicellular organisms are present. And also multicellular organisms are present. In the case of unicellular organisms, the materials, these solids, liquids, gases enter into the only one cell in the unicellular or single cellular organisms. That's why for transportation, mainly diffusion process and osmoregulation is useful. So in the case of unicellular organisms, these all materials enter into only one cell. So that's why within the cell, by the process of diffusion and osmoregulation, they can be transported. But whereas multicellular organisms are present, in the multicellular organisms also, within the cell for the transportation once again require diffusion and osmoregulation processes. But whereas if you take our body, it is made up of with trillions of cells. From one cell to the another cell, how the transportation takes place. For the transportation purpose, there is a system is developed that is called the circulatory system. So in the case of multicellular organisms, to transport the eaten solids and drunk liquids and for breath purpose gases, these all can be, that is transport from one cell to the another cell. There is a system is developed, that system is called the circulatory system. Okay, this circulatory system is two types basically. One is blood vascular system, second one is lymphatic system. In the case of higher animals, trillions of cells containing human-like body, the system, circulatory system is useful for transportation. The solids, liquids, gases transportation, the circulatory system is developed. This circulatory system is two types: blood vascular system and lymphatic system. So among them, the first topic we can go to blood vascular system. Blood vascular system. Particularly, you go to doctor or visit the doctor, that a doctor can be take our hand and keep his middle finger and showing fingers on the wrist portion, and also he looks towards the clock. Okay, what is that a doctor is observing? Mainly, even though you can also do this activity, take your showing finger and middle finger and keep on the wrist, particularly below the thumb region, not anywhere. This is completely wrist portion. Only below the thumb, you keep these two fingers. What you observe? Something is pushing upwards and downwards. Something is pushing upwards and downwards. That is called the pulse. Or nerve impulse. So, like that, doctors can be observe the pulse rate, and also we can do this pulse with the help of one activity. What is that activity? Take a shirt button. It consists of holes. In that holes you keep one matchstick and keep on that place. On that place, what happen? It can move upwards and downward movements. That is called the pulse. What is the relationship between the pulse and heartbeat? There is a lot of relation is there between the pulse and heartbeat. Okay? So almost all heart beating and the pulse rate is same. If you draw the histogram of pulse and heartbeat, both of them are same. So you can go to graph histogram, pulse rate, heartbeat rate is equal, same. Okay. Then today, nowadays, the modern doctors observing the heartbeat by using an instrument that is called the stethoscope. This was invented in 1816 by René Laennec. So René Laennec is the scientist invented this stethoscope. Particularly round paper keep on the chest region, particularly left region, one side, and another side keep ear. We can listen the heartbeat sounds. After the paper, used bamboo stick, hollow bamboo stick. Same, keep on the left side of the chest region, one side, and keep another side a ear. We can listen the heart sounds. Nothing but same pulse. So pulse can be observed mainly on wrist region, particularly beneath the thumb area. Beneath the thumb on wrist region, if you keep your that is fingers, something can be pushed upwards and downwards, that is called the pulse. So the pulse and heartbeat is the same by drawing the histogram of a graph. Okay? But today modern scientists, modern doctors using stethoscope. This stethoscope was discovered by the René Laennec. So first of all, round paper used, then later bamboo stick is used for the observation of this, that is a stethoscope. Okay. Next, we can go to another activity. What is that activity? Observation of a mammalian heart. The aim of the experiment is observation of mammalian heart. What is the required materials for this conducting of this experiment? First, we require the specimen of a goat heart or sheep heart. For the cutting and showing purpose, require a tray, a sharp blade or scalpel, and a mug of water. Okay, and soda straws, already used pen refills. These all things can be required for this conducting of this experiment. Okay. So by that we can observe, we can dissect the heart of a goat or sheep and observe the complete heart. So what is the structure of that heart? We can go to external structure and internal structure. Structure of heart. In the structure of heart, first, where our heart is present. So our heart is located in the chest cavity, particularly towards the left side of the chest cavity, between two lungs. A space is present that is called the mediastinum. In the mediastinum place, our heart is located. Okay? Our heart is located in the chest cavity, not right side, towards the left side. Between the two lungs, there is a space is present that is called the mediastinum. In that place, our heart is located. It is protected by the pectoral girdle and as well as ribs. Okay, by the ribs and pectoral girdle, it is externally protected. Then, if you observe our heart, it is a pear shape. or triangle in shape. Its top side is somewhat broad or wide and the bottom side is narrow. Like that, it is a pear shape or triangle shape. Anterior side or upward is broad or wide, but whereas posterior side it is somewhat narrow and looks like a inverted triangle shape. Inverted triangle shape. Like inverted triangle shape. So top side, anterior side is broad and the posterior side is narrow. Due to that, a inverted triangle shape our heart is present. It is the size of every person's fist, pedically. So it is the size of a fist. So fist size heart, triangular or pear shaped heart, located in chest cavity towards the left side. Between the two lungs, space is called the mediastinum. Okay. Such kind of heart is covered by the two membranes. They are called the pericardial membranes. So this is called the outer membrane. This is called the inner membrane. Outer membrane is called the parietal layer. Inner membrane is called the visceral layer. Like that, our heart is covered by the two layers: outer layer, parietal layer, inner layer, visceral layer. These two layers are togetherly known as the pericardial membranes. Between these two pericardial membranes, a space is present. That space is called the pericardial space. That space is completely filled by the liquid. So like it is filled by liquid. So this liquid is called the pericardial fluid. Okay, our heart is covered by two membranes. One is outer membrane is called the parietal layer and the inner membrane is called the visceral layer. These two togetherly known as the pericardial membranes. Between these two membranes, pericardial space is present. That space is filled by a liquid. That liquid is called the pericardial fluid. What is the use of that pericardial fluid? It gives protection to our heart from external shocks. From external shocks, this pericardial fluid can give the protection to our heart. Externally protected by the skeletal system, that is a pectoral girdle and ribs, that is called the totally known as a rib cage. Then internally it is protected by this presence of pericardial fluid. Okay, this is about the somewhat we have to observe the external structure of our heart. Thank you students. By listening of this lesson, patiently. Okay. Welcome to online classes DEO Nalgonda. Dear students, good morning to all. In last class, we know about the circulatory system, particularly blood vascular system, and we know about how the heartbeat is taking place with the help of stethoscope and also nerve impulse. Okay, and also we see the external structure of heart, shape of the heart, where it is located, what is its size, how it is covered. These all things we discussed in the last class. The next we can go to internal structure of heart. So internal structure of heart. Actually, for our heart, there are two small blood vessels are attached. They are called the cardiac arteries. They can be supplies the blood to our heart. Then after the dissection of a goat or sheep heart, we can observe some chambers in the heart. What are the two chambers? Our heart is a mammalian heart, even goat, sheep also mammals. Our heart consists of four chambers, top two chambers, bottom two chambers. The top chambers are called atria or auricles. Bottom chambers are called the ventricles. Okay, the top chambers are called atria or auricles. Bottom two chambers are called the ventricles. Then what are the atria or auricles? In the case of fishes, it is only one is present, but it is now divided into two. So here these two chambers are separated by interauricular septum. By the help of interauricular septum, the atria or auricles are divided into two. One is called right auricle and another one is called left auricle. Always right auricle is larger than a left auricle. Then you comes to bottom chambers, they are called ventricles. Actually, in the fishes only one ventricle is present. It is converted into two by interventricular septum. So interventricular septum divides the ventricles into two. One is called right ventricle and another one is called left ventricle. Like that, two ventricles are present. So in this one, same. Left ventricle is somewhat smaller than right ventricle. So that means what you are understanding means, by the interauricular septum, auricles are divided. By interventricular septum, ventricles are divided. Then in the by that auricles becomes into two chambers, ventricles becomes into two chambers. So right auricle and right ventricle is larger than left auricle and left ventricle. So that is the That is, we have to find here. And also comparing with that, auricles are somewhat smaller and ventricles are larger. Then another point, the walls of auricles or atria are thin. The walls of atria or auricles are thin, but whereas ventricles are very thick. Very thick. That is the structures we have to find. Then another point here, some of the blood vessels are attached to our heart. What are that blood vessels? In that some arteries are present, some veins also present. What are the arteries? Particularly from the right ventricle, one artery can be arises like this. So like that, from the right ventricle, one small artery is arises. This is called the pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery or pulmonary arch or pulmonary trunk, whatever it may be, same. Same just like from the left ventricle. So from left ventricle, again a big artery can be arises. This artery is known as the aorta or left systemic arch. This is known as left systemic arch, or it is also otherwise known as aorta. Like that, there are two main arteries are arises from heart. One is from right ventricle, that is called pulmonary arch or pulmonary artery. It is somewhat smaller comparing with the left systemic arch. That means from left ventricle there is another big artery arises, that is called the left systemic arch or aorta. Okay. The next, if you find there are two main veins attached to our heart. One is located above the artery, above the heart. One is located below the heart. So the top one is called the superior vena cava. Superior vena cava or anterior vena cava. Then bottom one is called inferior. Inferior vena cava or post caval vein. So like that, for our heart there are two main veins are attached. What are the two main veins? One is superior vena cava, anterior vena cava. This big vein brought blood from our head, neck and as well as the shoulders. Okay, head means here brain is present, and also among the 5 sense organs, 4 sense organs are located in the head. That is eyes, ears, nose, tongue, except skin. And that means here also skin is present, but skin is covered total body. So like that, from the most important part, brain, and most of our sense organs, this anterior vena cava or superior vena cava brought impure blood, deoxygenated blood to right auricle, into right auricle. Okay. The next another vein, inferior vena cava or posterior vena cava. It brought the blood from posterior parts of our heart, particularly legs, thighs, abdomen, backside of our body. From legs, backside of our body, and also from abdomen. It brought a total impure blood. That impure blood also, that deoxygenated blood also opens into same right auricle. That means what you are understanding means, so superior vena cava, which carries impure blood from head, neck, shoulders to, that is right auricle. That means that brought blood and opens into right auricle. So another one is inferior vena cava or postcaval vein, which is also same, bringing the deoxygenated blood or impure blood from posterior parts of the body, mainly legs, thighs, abdomen, and back side of our body up to heart. That is also bringing impure blood or deoxygenated blood once again opens into right auricle. That means what you are understanding, from anterior parts of our body, anterior vena cava or superior vena cava, from posterior parts of our body, posterior vena cava or inferior vena cava, brought impure blood and opens into right auricle. That means the right auricle receives impure blood from all parts of the body, anterior parts of body through anterior vena cava, postcaval vein from posterior parts of the body. So that's why the right auricle always receives the impure blood. Impure blood from different parts of the body. That is the point you have to remember, children. And also you have to remember another point, basic point. Always right side of chambers consists of impure blood, deoxygenated blood. Only the left side chambers consists of pure blood. That is the point you have to remember basically. Left side chambers, pure blood. Right side chambers, impure blood. Basically, blindly you have to remember that two observations. Okay, like that the right auricle receives impure blood from all parts of the body by this superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Superior vena cava brought blood from anterior parts, inferior vena cava brought blood from posterior parts. Okay. Next, left auricle. Actually, what I say, our heart is located between two lungs. Between two lungs. Okay. So from the two lungs, you imagine this is one lung. Just it is a basic diagram. This is another lung. Example. From these two lungs, a pair of arteries, a pair of veins are coming. These veins are called the pulmonary veins. These pulmonary veins carries the pure blood from these lungs too and opens into that is left auricle. So left auricle always receives the pure blood from two lungs by the help of pulmonary veins. Pulmonary vein. Okay. So our heart is located between two lungs. From this lung, one pulmonary vein. From this lung, another pulmonary vein carries pure blood and opens into a left auricle. That means what do you understand? This left auricle receives pure blood from lungs through veins, not arteries. What are that veins? That veins are called the pulmonary veins. Okay, students, you have to remember, right auricle receives impure blood from body parts, left auricle receives pure blood from only lungs. Our respiratory organs, lungs, it receives the pure blood. Okay, students, by listening of this lesson patiently, thank you. Welcome to online classes DEO Nalgonda. Good morning to all children. In the last class we discussed about the external structure and internal structure of heart. The next another 4 marks question here we have to discuss, that is about the valves which present in the heart. So basically, you know, valve is nothing but it works only one side but not both sides. In our cycle, car, a truck, tires are present. Some of them consist of tube and some of them are tubeless, whatever it may be. For a tube or a tire, there is to entry of gases, there is a valve is present. So what is the use of that valve? Always from the pump, air pump, the air is enter into the tire, but not from tire to that air pump. So like that, it works only one side, but not both sides. That is the valve. That is the use of valve. Such kind of valves are present in heart. Altogether, there are 4 valves are present in our heart. So where that valves are present, what is their name, what is their function? If you remember, these 4 valves get 4 marks. One valve, each valve carries 1 mark. Okay, like that it asks in the 4 marks question. So what are that valves? First, particularly this is a right auricle. You know, this is a right ventricle. This right auricle can be opens into right ventricle by a aperture. So this is the aperture. So the between right auricle and the right ventricle, there is a aperture is present. This is called the right auriculoventricular aperture. Right auriculoventricular aperture. At this aperture, there is a valve is present. So this valve is known as the tricuspid valve. Tricuspid valve. So between the right auricle and the right ventricle, there is a right auriculoventricular aperture is present. That aperture is guarded by the 3 valves. They are known as a tricuspid valve. Okay. What is the use of this tricuspid valve? Already you know, right auricle receives impure blood from body parts. By the contraction, that impure blood can be enter into the right ventricle. For that purpose, it is useful. Okay, same just like between the left auricle and left ventricle, there is a aperture is present like this. This is called the left auriculoventricular aperture, same like that of right auriculoventricular aperture. It is guarded by two valves. This valve is known as the bicuspid valve or dicuspid valve. It is also otherwise known as mitral valve. So, mitral valve. Once again, the left auricle also opens into left ventricle by a aperture. That aperture is called the left auriculoventricular aperture. That aperture is guarded by two valves. That's why it is called dicuspid valve or bicuspid valve or mitral valve. So, mitral valve is located between, that is left auricle and left ventricle. That means where left auriculoventricular aperture. What is its function? You know very well, this left auricle receives pure blood from lungs through pulmonary veins. So, pulmonary veins. So, what is that pure blood is there? By that is contraction, that pure blood can be enter into the left ventricle. These are the same type of valves, but here these are three valves, these are two valves. It is located between right auriculoventricular aperture. This is located between the left auriculoventricular aperture. This is called tricuspid valve. This is called bicuspid or mitral valve. Its function is entry of right auricle containing impure blood to right ventricle, and its function is left auricle containing pure blood enter into the, that is left ventricle. They are useful. So, these are the main two valves. Then another two valves. What are that another two valves? You know, from right ventricle there is a arch is arises, that is called the pulmonary artery or pulmonary arch. At the base of this pulmonary arch there are three semilunar valves are present. Where they are located? They are located at the base of a pulmonary arch or pulmonary artery. That's why they are called the pulmonary valves. Simply they are called pulmonary valves. Okay. At the base of a pulmonary artery, where from it is arising from right ventricle. At the base of that one, there are three semilunar valves are present, half circle, not complete circle. Semilunar valves are present, they are called pulmonary valves. Just like from the left ventricle, what is the big artery arises? That is already we know, left systemic arch or aorta. At the base of this left systemic arch or aorta also, there are about three semilunar valves are present. These are called the systemic valves or aortic valves. Aortic valves. So, like that in our heart, there are four valves are present. Okay. So, tricuspid, bicuspid is same pulmonary valves and aortic or systemic valves also same. So, these are three semilunar valves, these also three semilunar valves. These three semilunar valves located at the base of pulmonary artery, that's why they are called pulmonary valves. These three valves are located at the base of left systemic arch or aorta, that's why they are called systemic valves or aortic valves, same. If you want to see their function, example, the pulmonary valves useful for the entry of impure blood into the pulmonary arch. Then aortic valves can be useful for the entry of pure blood from left ventricle to this left systemic arch. Like that they can be useful. Okay children, or you get some idea about these valves? These are the 4 valves present in the heart and they are very, very important. Okay children, you listened to my lesson very patiently. Thank you for you. Welcome to online classes DEO Nalgonda. For 10th class students, biology topic. In the 3rd chapter, circulatory system, we go to cardiac cycle. What is cardiac cycle? In the last class, we know about the external structure, internal structure and valves of the total heart. Is nothing but functioning of heart. Next one, functioning of heart. So, how the heart is working or functioning, how the circulation of blood is taking place. For that detail understand, we can go to another 4 marks question, that is called the cardiac cycle. Is nothing but working of heart or pumping of heart. Okay. Children, you know already how the heart is working. By contraction and expansions of the heart chambers. So, top 2 auricles and bottom 2 ventricles undergo contractions and expansions or relaxations. So, that is comes under the working of heart. Whenever that working of heart, the blood can be goes to different parts of body or heart. Okay. How it is taking place? You know children already, this is a right auricle. So, right auricle always receives the impure blood from body parts through superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Both of them can be opens into right auricle. That is why right auricle consists of impure blood. Whenever that impure blood is entered through this inferior vena cava and superior vena cava, this heart chamber is relaxing or it becomes into void. At the same time, not different times, at the same time, this left auricle receives pure blood from 2 lungs through pulmonary veins. So, pulmonary veins carries that is pure blood to left auricle by lungs, from lungs. Okay. So, like that. So, right auricle receives impure blood, left auricle receives pure blood. At that time both of them are relaxing. Then later what happened? This filled with impure blood, this filled with pure blood. After the fulfill, they undergo contraction. Due to that contraction of these auricles, what happened? Here tricuspid valve is open, here mitral valve is open. By that, right auricle containing impure blood enter into the right ventricle. Pure blood containing left auricle or left auricle containing pure blood enter into the left ventricle. This is about the contraction of the auricles. Then later what happened? Impure blood is entering and pure blood is entering. At that time, both ventricles are in the relaxation. Then later, it fulfill with right ventricle fulfill with impure blood, left auricle fulfill with pure blood. After the fulfill, these both of them can be at a time undergo contraction. That is called the ventricles contraction. Due to that ventricle contraction, what happened? From the right auricle, this pulmonary arch is open. Okay, arises. Through this pulmonary arch or pulmonary trunk, this impure blood can be goes to lungs for purification. So this impure blood can be goes to lungs for purification. That is takes place by the contraction of right ventricle. At the same time, left ventricle also contract. Due to that, what is the pure blood is present that can be enter into the left systemic arch or left systemic trunk or aorta, it goes to the body parts. That means that is called the cardiac cycle. Very simply within 2 minutes, right auricle receives impure blood from all body parts. Left auricle receives pure blood from only lungs. Both of them can be relaxed and fulfilled with blood. Then later both can be goes to the contraction. By that here tricuspid valve open, impure blood enter into the right ventricle. Here the bicuspid valve or mitral valve open and pure blood enter into the left ventricle. Due to that they can be undergo expansion. When the blood is coming, expansion. Then later both of them can be contracted. Due to that the impure blood through pulmonary artery goes to lungs. Here pure blood enter into the left systemic arch and goes to body parts. That is the simply cardiac cycle. So for the completion of cardiac cycle require 0.8 seconds. 0.8 seconds. Okay. For the 0.8 seconds, first one is expansion of auricles. Contraction of auricles. For the contraction of auricles require 0.14 seconds. For the contraction of ventricles require 0.27 to 0.35 seconds. Okay. For the total relaxation of heart chambers, okay. For the contraction of auricles require 0.14 seconds. Contraction of ventricles require 0.27 to 0.35 seconds. For relaxation of total heart chambers require 0.4 seconds. So approximately this is about the 0.3 seconds. This is 0.4 seconds. This is 0.1 second. So altogether 0.8 seconds. Okay, this is the point you have to remember. Contraction of auricles require 0.14, approximately round up 0.1 seconds. Then for contraction of ventricles require 0.27 to 0.35 seconds, approximately 0.3 seconds. Then relaxation of heart chambers require 0.4 seconds. So altogether 0.4 plus 0.3, 0.7 plus 0.1, 0.8 seconds. How we can get this 0.8 seconds? Mainly our heart can be beat, that is 72 times per minute. That means in 60 seconds, or to beat 72 times require 60 seconds of time. To beat one time, how much time is takes place? That is 1 by 72 into 60. That means 60 by 72. You can get 0.8 seconds. Okay, our heart can be beat, that is 72 times in a minute or 60 seconds of time. To beat one time, how much time is required? 1 by 72 into 60 by 1 is equal to 60 by 72 is equal to 0.8 seconds. So this is about the total time is taken. Okay, here you have to remember one point, very important point. You know, right auricle blood enter into the right ventricle, left auricle pure blood enter into the left ventricle. Here what is the point you have to remember means, whenever these both ventricles are contracted, here these mitral valve and tricuspid valve is closed. By the closing of these valves, tricuspid valve and mitral valve, we can get a sort of sound that is called the lub sound. Lub sound. This is about the first sound produced from heart chambers. Actually, by the beating of heart, there is no sounds. Only closing of valves only we can get the sounds. What happened? Whenever these both ventricles are closed, immediately here tricuspid valve and bicuspid valve is closed. By that close, we are getting one sort of sound that is called lub sound. Whenever these both of them are closed, these both of them are open. These are three semicircular valves, these also three semicircular valves. These are called the pulmonary valves, these are called the aortic valves. These can be open. Due to the opening, here impure blood is enter into the pulmonary artery. Here pure blood is enter into the left systemic artery. After the entry of blood, by the contraction of ventricles, the blood enter into this pulmonary artery and aortic aorta. Afterwards, what happened? Immediately after the contraction, how much of contraction time is takes place? Just 0.3 seconds. Afterwards, immediately they becomes into relaxation. At that time, what happened? The entered pure blood here, entered impure blood can be, at any time they can be undergo reverse. For the stoppage of that reverse flow of blood, this is impure blood, this is pure blood. Here these three semilunar valves, pulmonary valves and aortic valves or systemic valves can be closed. By that we can get second sort of sound that is called the dub sound. So that is called the dub sound. Like that, by closing of that is a tricuspid valve and bicuspid valve, we get the that is a lub sound. By the closing of these three semilunar valves of pulmonary valves and aortic valves, we can get the dub sound. So these are the lub dub sounds produced from heart. So a healthy person's heart can be beat 72 times per a minute. Okay, but in the children, particularly by birth, it can be beat about 130 to 150. Whenever a person becomes of middle age, it becomes into half. 130, 150 becomes into 72 times. That is the point you have to remember. Then another point you have to remember, last point. What is that last point? Some of the animals are very large. Their heart also, that is a lot of weight, but beating is very less. Example, there is a blue whale. Blue whale is there. It is about the, that is particularly weight of 1,50,000 kgs. Its heart is 750 kgs. Beat only 7 times per minute. 7 times per minute. That means blue whale is the largest animal in the globe. Okay, particularly it is live in the seas and oceans. And its weight is 1,50,000. Heart is 750 kgs. Beat only 7 times. But whereas the second animal, particularly elephant, this is the largest animal on the land. This is total land and water. It is about 3000 kgs of weight. Its heart is 12 to 21 kgs. It beat 46 times per minute. Okay. The next human being, man. The man average weight is 60 to 70 kgs. It can be beat 72 times per minute. Okay. This is about the man. His weight is about 60 to 70 kgs. Heart is 300 grams and beat 72 times. A coil-teeth bird is present. A coil-teeth bird is present. This is the bird, very small. It is about 0.8 grams weight. Okay, 0.8. That means 800 milligrams. And its heart is just 0.15 grams and beat 1200 times in a minute. So like that, when there is a large weight of animal, large weight of heart and beat less times. But wherever the coil-teeth bird, its weight is less, heart weight also less, and but beats many times, 1200 times per minute. So that is the point, students, you have to remember. Large animals, large weight of heart and less times can be beat. A small animal, its weight is less, heart weight also less, but beat many times. That is the specialty you have to remember. Thank you, students, for the listening of this lesson very patiently. Okay. Welcome to online classes, DEO Nalgonda. Good morning to all children. For 10th class students, biology, 3rd chapter, circulatory system. In that one, we can go to next topic, blood vessels. In the last classes, you know external and internal structure of heart and also working of heart. For that we know, cardiac cycle. Afterwards, we can go to blood vessels. So these blood vessels are mainly 3 types. Okay, the blood vessels are 3 types. One is called arteries, second one called veins, third one is called capillaries. Already you know some arteries name, veins name. Once again you see this diagram. These both of them are arteries. So one is called pulmonary artery and another one is called left systemic artery. So generally arteries can be carries pure blood from heart to different parts of body, except this pulmonary artery. This pulmonary artery carries impure blood from this right ventricle to lungs. Okay, arteries are blood vessels, carry almost all pure blood from heart to different parts of body except pulmonary artery, which carries impure blood from heart to lungs. Okay. The next veins, you know some veins name. This is called anterior vein, anterior vena cava, or superior vena cava. This is called posterior vein or inferior vena cava, posterior vena cava. These are also very big veins. These veins carries generally impure blood from body parts to heart. So most of the veins carries impure blood from different parts of body to heart, except these two pulmonary veins. So these pulmonary veins carries the pure blood from lungs to heart. Okay, arteries carries pure blood from heart to different parts except pulmonary arch or pulmonary artery. Veins carries impure blood from all body parts to heart except pulmonary veins carries pure blood from lungs to heart. Arteries walls are very thick, veins walls are very thin. Arteries walls, godal, are very thick, then veins walls are thin. Then if you goes to the inside space, that is called lumen. In the case of arteries, lumen is less. That's why blood flows very pressurely. Then in the case of veins, the inside part lumen is large. That's why the blood pressure is less. So high blood pressure, low blood pressure. Then what are the blood vessels which are looking on our body? These are all veins. So veins are superficial blood vessels, but arteries are not visible to outside. So they are deep seated blood vessels. By beating of heart, blood is pumped through the arteries. So blood pressure is more and more. But whereas in the case of veins, the blood is coming from body parts to heart. That's why at any time this blood can be go reverse. For the stoppage of that reverse flow of blood, here in the case of veins, valves are present. That is the point. Okay? Due to the beating of heart, blood goes to different parts of body with pressure. But whereas in the veins, the impure blood is coming from body parts. Its blood pressure is less. That's why any time it can be go to reverse. Reverse flow of blood takes place. To stoppage of that reverse flow of blood, in the case of veins, so many valves are present. That means arteries don't possess valves, veins possesses valves. Who observed that veins? In the case of veins means a scientist, his name is called Guy Loma Fabrici. A scientist, his name is called Guy Loma Fabrici. Is the scientist observed the valves which are present in the veins to reverse flow of blood. Okay. So these are the somewhat difference. If you observe the arteries flow blood, it is oxygenated blood, very thick reddish in color. But whereas in the veins, impure blood, deoxygenated blood, blood without oxygen, so that is somewhat bluish in color. Like that, some differences are there between the main blood vessels, arteries and veins. Then third blood vessels are capillaries. What are the capillaries? So when there is a artery is there, that artery starting from heart, it is a very large trunk, but it is a go to body parts, it divide and divide. At last in the tissues, it can be end as a capillaries. It can be end as a capillaries. Okay. So artery is the very big blood vessel. It is starts from heart. But whenever it is goes to different parts of the body, divide and redivide, and at last in the tissues, it becomes into capillaries. Example, veins. Veins are starts with capillaries. and end with a big vein. Okay. So that means capillaries. Capillaries are nothing but they are the end parts of arteries, starting part of veins. Okay. Then comparing with the arteries, veins walls are thin. Comparing with veins also, the capillaries walls are very, very thin. Actually, these capillaries are first observed by an Italian scientist Marcello Malpighi in patagium of a bat. So, bat is the mammal, it is flying, okay. For the flying here, what is there? There is a wings are present. How that wing is formed? By skin. That skin is called the patagium. In the patagium of a bat, an Italian scientist Marcello Malpighi observed the capillaries. Okay, this is the point you have to remember. Like that, the blood vessels are three types: arteries, veins, capillaries. Here, the differences between the arteries and veins are very important to 2 marks question. Okay, next we can go to another small topic, that is called the second circulatory system. You know very well. First one is blood vascular system, second one is lymphatic system. Lymphatic system. The second type of circulatory system, transport system, is lymphatic system. First one is blood vascular system. The main important one is heart. That means the beating of heart takes place, blood flows through the different blood vessels. And what is lymphatic system? Example, you journeyed throughout night, particularly in the bus. You seated in only one posture. You journeyed throughout night, very long places, like example, Hyderabad to Tirupati, Hyderabad to Shirdi, Hyderabad to Bengaluru, Hyderabad to Bombay, like that. If you go long distances, total night in a bus, sitting with only one posture, then in the morning particularly, what happened? Our foot become very tight. Why they tight? Because our legs are swollen. Due to swollen the legs, our chappals to our foot becomes very tight. Okay, this is called the edema. Edema. So, what is the edema? Throughout night, very long journey, we sit only one posture in a bus seat. Then in the early morning, for our foot, chappals become very tight, because the legs and the foot can be completely swollen. That swollen thing is here known as that process is known as the edema. Okay. So, in our body, from the heart, some blood vessels are started, they are called arteries. Whenever that artery starts from heart, it is very large in size, but it goes to several parts of body, divide and redivide. Already at last in the tissues, they end as a capillaries. Capillaries. These capillary walls are very thin. So the walls of capillaries are very thin. Due to that, what happens? Into the tissues, some blood can be come to outside. Okay? So heart is beating, blood enter into the very big arteries. They can be divided and redivided at last in the tissues and as a capillaries. These capillary walls are very thin. Due to thin nature, some of the blood can be enter into the tissues. That is called the tissue fluid. That is called the tissue fluid. Okay, that tissue fluid consists of mainly water, salts, nutrients, etc. So that nutrients and salts are that is enter into our tissues, supplies to our tissues. Particularly for the supplying of nutrients, this system is useful. Okay, but that collected tissue fluid in the tissue not stored a long time. It can be enter into already capillaries are very minute. Again in the capillaries some venules are present. So like that some of that collected tissue fluid can be enter into the veinlets. Veinlets to veins. Veins to it is enter into heart. Okay, that is the main important point here you have to remember. Once again, due to thin nature of capillaries, some of the blood can be entered into the tissues and collected as a tissue fluid. That tissue fluid can be helpful for the supplying of food materials or nutrients to tissues, and also to collect the waste materials also it is helpful. That collected tissue fluid is not present in the tissues. It can be entered into the small capillaries called the veinlets. Veinlets to veins, veins to heart. So this is totally known as the originally lymphatic system. Okay, what is the lymph? What is the lymph? Lymph is nothing but blood. Our blood consists of solids and liquids. What are the solids which are present in the blood? They are salts, plasma salts. And also blood cells like red blood cells RBC, white blood cells like WBC and thrombocytes. Like that these blood cells and salts are solid in state. Then what is the liquid? You know very well the liquid part of blood is called plasma. In that 90% is water is present. So like that in the blood what is there? Solids are present, liquids are present. The blood without solids is known as the lymph. So lymph is nothing but blood without solids. So the lymph is nothing but blood without solids. Understand? Blood is made up of with solids and liquids. The solids are nothing but salts and that is blood cells like RBC, WBC and platelets. So that solids are not present, such kind of blood is called the lymph. To flow of this lymph for our that is a venous system simultaneously a system is developed. That system is called the lymphatic system. It is also consists of lymph vessels. So these collected tissue fluid enter into that lymph vessels to veins, veins to it can be enter into the heart. So this is called the second system, lymphatic system. Through this system mainly the nutrients can be supplied to the body parts, that means tissues. from the tissues some waste materials are collected. Okay children, this is the topic about that lymphatic system. Okay, thank you. We can meet again in the next class.